Have you ever heard of the Whisper House? Nestled in a small town, enveloped by dense woods, stands an old abandoned house. It's famously known as the Whisper House, named after the rumors that whispering voices can be heard emanating from its empty rooms during the night. No one knows exactly what transpired there, but the tale tells of the last family that resided there, vanishing under mysterious circumstances. One day, a group of friends, Alex, Mia, and Tom, decided to unravel the enigma of the Whisper House. They were all local YouTubers, specializing in the paranormal, believing this could be their breakthrough. Equipped with cameras, flashlights, and a recorder, they prepared themselves for their exploration. The air inside the house was cold and heavy, and every creak of the old wooden floor made them flinch. They decided to split up to explore the house. Armed with cameras, flashlights, and a recorder, they enter the house just before sunset. Mia heads upstairs where she finds a child's room scattered with old, dusty toys. The creaking wooden stairs groan beneath her weight as she ascends into the unknown. A shiver runs down her spine as she pushes open the door, revealing a time capsule of a forgotten childhood. Dolls with faded dresses and teddy bears missing eyes lay in an eerie silence. The air is heavy with the scent of old paper and mildew, but there's something else too, a faint whisper, like a sigh carried on the wind. Turning slowly, Mia scans the room, her eyes straining in the dim light. But there's nothing. Just the toys, the whispering silence, and her. She fumbles for her camera, her fingers shaking as she switches it on. The red light blinks in the darkness, a single eye in the face of the unknown. "Is there anyone here?" she asks, her voice barely more than a whisper itself. The question hangs in the air, a daring challenge to the unseen. But the whispering doesn't respond. Instead, it grows quieter, as if retreating into the shadows. Her heart pounds in her chest, the silence pressing in around her like a tangible force. She tries again, her voice louder this time. "Can you hear me?" Again, no response, just the whispering silence, now so faint it's barely audible. But the absence of sound is more unsettling than the whispers themselves. It's like the calm before a storm, the moment of suspense before the curtain lifts. Suddenly a chilling sensation sweeps over her. It's as if someone or something is watching her. The hairs on the back of her neck stand up, a primal reaction to an unseen threat. She whips around, her camera sweeping the room, but there's nothing, just the whispering silence, the forgotten toys, and her. The whispering doesn't respond, but she feels the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. With a shuddering breath, Mia steps back, her heart pounding in her chest. The room is still, the whispering silenced, but the feeling of being watched remains. It's a chilling reminder that in the Whisper House, you're never truly alone. Meanwhile, Alex explores the basement. The air is cooler here, dense with a palpable sense of history. His flashlight skates over shelves filled with odds and ends, remnants of lives lived long ago. Then, his light catches on something tucked away in a dusty corner, a stack of old newspaper clippings. He steps closer, curiosity piqued. His eyes scan the faded print, revealing stories about the missing family who once lived in the Whisper House. There are mentions of strange occurrences, whispers in the night, a family that vanished without a trace. The mystery of the Whisper House deepens with every word he reads. As he's engrossed in the articles, a sound breaks his concentration. Footsteps. They echo softly in the chilly basement, seeming to come from right behind him. He whirls around, heart pounding in his chest. But there's nothing there. Just the empty room bathed in the dim glow of his flashlight. He swallows hard, turning back to the newspaper clippings. But out of the corner of his eye, he sees it. A shadowy figure stands at the foot of the stairs, silent and unmoving. He freezes, his breath hitching in his throat. But then, in a blink, it's gone. His heart thuds in his chest, a frantic drumbeat against the eerie silence of the basement. But Alex is not one to back down from a challenge. He's a YouTuber, a paranormal investigator. This is what he signed up for. This is what he's here for. So, he takes a deep breath, steadying his shaking hands. The shadow figure, the footsteps, they're all part of the mystery he's here to unravel. He turns back to the clippings, to the stories of the vanished family and the whispers in the night. Startled but determined, he continues his investigation. For he knows, every whisper, every shadow, every chill down his spine is a piece of the puzzle, a piece of the story of the Whisper House. And he's here to tell that story, no matter how chilling it may be. Tom stays on the ground floor and discovers an old diary in the library. Tucked away in a corner, its weathered leather cover is a testament of time, whispering tales of an era long past. Tom's fingers trace the delicate pages, unearthing a treasure trove of secrets written by hands that have long turned into dust. Tom begins to read, his eyes scanning the faded ink. The entries, cryptic and unsettling, speak of voices that won't quiet and shadows that wander at night. Each word he reads sends a chill running down his spine, his heart pounding in his chest like a drum heralding the arrival of an unseen terror. The diary, once a silent witness, now echoes the whispers of the house, its voice resonating with the eerie echoes of the past. As he delves deeper into the diary, the entries become more frantic, the fear more palpable. The author speaks of whispers growing louder, shadows becoming bolder, and a creeping dread that slowly consumes their sanity. It's as if the house itself is alive, its whispers an insidious lullaby that lures its inhabitants into a never-ending nightmare. Suddenly, a gust of wind sweeps through the library, extinguishing the candlelight and casting the room into darkness. Tom holds his breath, his eyes straining in the darkness. The silence is deafening, the anticipation palpable. And then, it happens. The pages of the diary begin to turn on their own, each rustle of the paper a chilling reminder of the house's haunting presence. Tom watches, frozen in place, as the pages flip open to a final entry. The words are hastily scrawled, the ink smudged, as if written in a hurry, in fear. It reads, "The whispers won't stop, they're here, they're..." The entry ends abruptly, the sentence unfinished, the story untold. Despite the terror gripping him, Tom can't tear his eyes away from the diary, the secrets it holds, the story it tells. It's all too compelling, too horrifying. As he reads, the pages begin to turn on their own as if invisible hands are touching them. The diary, like the house, refuses to be silenced. Its whispers a chilling reminder of a past that refuses to be forgotten. The friends regroup in the living room and begin to share their experiences. The air grows thick with tension as each recounts their chilling encounters. Suddenly a surge of whispers fills the room, growing louder until their own voices are drowned out. The eerie symphony of hushed voices seems to emanate from the very walls of the house. The cameras, their only connection to the outside world, start to flicker, their lights dancing in the growing darkness. With a final gasp, they blink out, leaving the friends in an abyss of blackness. The whispers crescendo, a deafening roar in the silence. Then, cutting through the cacophony, a child's voice, clear and innocent, sends a shiver down their spines. "You're not alone," it says, a chilling declaration that freezes them in their tracks. The voice, so disarmingly pure against the backdrop of whispers, rings in their ears long after it fades into silence. Panic sets in. They scramble toward the front door, their hearts pounding in their chests, but the door, which had welcomed them in just hours ago, now stands unyielding. The whispers grow louder, a relentless assault on their sanity. Shadows dart around them, an unseen force playing a macabre game of hide and seek. In a desperate act, Alex lunges at a window, his fear lending him strength. The glass shatters, shards reflecting the moonlight outside. He helps Mia and Tom through the broken window, their bodies trembling with adrenaline. Without a backward glance, they run, the house receding into the darkness behind them. The forest, once a foreboding entity, now offers them refuge. The whispers seem to fade with each step they take, replaced by the rustling of leaves underfoot and the hooting of owls above. The town, their sanctuary, emerges from the darkness, a beacon of safety in the terrifying night. They don't stop running until they're safe within its boundaries, the Whisper House a dreadful memory fading into the night. In a desperate act, Alex breaks a window and helps the others out. They run, without looking back, through the forest back to town. The next day, they return to retrieve their equipment, but the house is gone. Where once stood the eerie Whisper House is now an empty patch in the forest, a void that seems to swallow their disbelief and confusion. They rush to the town, their hearts pounding, their minds buzzing with questions. But nobody remembers. Not a soul in the town recalls a house in the woods, let alone the Whisper House. It's as if the house, along with its chilling whispers, was a figment of their shared imagination. But what about the footage, the undeniable evidence of their harrowing experience? They rush to review it, only to find blank tapes. No whispers, no shadows, not even a glimpse of the house. It's all gone. Erased. All that remains is their memory of the terrifying night and the inexplicable whispering that haunts them to this day. Don't forget to follow for more mystery stories and activate the bell.